Erin?
I mean, I don't know that I have very much great advice based on the fact that I was never really able to manage it until I let CTV bring out eligible bachelors to right to the farm. It seemed easier than having to leave the farm. I would say, yeah, trying to find people that understand how much our farms mean to us too. Like I think being a dairy farmer is more than a career. It is a lot of your identity, which is probably good and bad. Um, and I do know, like for myself, it was always a challenge. I'm a pretty independent um, woman that maybe doesn't. I don't really fit all the things that a lot of um, men from more traditional farming backgrounds are looking for in a partner. That I want to be the dairy farmer. I don't want to do a lot of more traditional roles. So I think trying to find people, again, sort of outside the box of like, it doesn't need to be all the same sort of people that we've always sort of pulled from pools of.
I can imagine. Yeah. Wow. That's a great answer. And I'm going to leave that one alone. Okay. Erin, I'm going to start with you on the next question. So for most producers, they have a busy lifestyle, right? So what are some date night ideas that you can offer some insight on now that you've been through this experience?
Um, I don't know if I have great ideas. Again, like I like
There must be lots to do in Creston.
there is lots to do in Creston. It is a wonderful community.
Oh, I know it is. Yes, I've been there.
With a small town. We have a bunch of wonderful wineries now and breweries and things. I'm definitely pretty partial to just like going for a walk with the dogs and having a beer somewhere. Or being willing to like incorporate some farm work into a date. Like
Wow, you're a lot of fun. Let's go for a walk and shovel poop. There we go.
I keep my heifers out on range pasture, so in the evenings, like I like to take a beer or two out on the side by side and like go find the cows on 300 acres of range and just relax. So trying to find like things that can sort of take the pressure off of work and enjoy it. But I'm pretty low key. Like I don't like say I forgot that I didn't like people when I applied for the show. So
You forgot you didn't like people.
To just stay home and hang out is my preferred date night.
You know, if I was one of those guys applying on that show and I read your resume and you don't like people, I'm like, and you want to run the show, that would scare the heck out of me.
I think she left that part out.
Yeah. She left that part out.
My salesmanship came in.
Yeah,
I didn't tell
awesome.
them that I don't like people.
Josh, what about you? What about some fun date night ideas of Chilliwack Way, Rosedale?
Well, I just like to get away from the farm, so if any problems come up, I can't deal with them.
There you go. Yes, I love your honesty.
That's usually the best date night if you can getting off the farm and yeah, just for me enjoying it. Get away a little bit and just kind of totally turning your mind off on it. That's kind of my ideal, I think, date night.
Okay, and Doug, we did have the luxury of watching you on some date nights. You romantic fool. Tell us about some of those ideas.
Yeah, I would say like getting off the farm, like Josh said, is pretty critical, but you also need the support to get off the farm. But thankfully, I got a relief milker now, so I can get off every so often. Should utilize that a little bit more, but Megan does spend a lot of time also helping me on the farm with milkings and just checking on cows. She's also my nutritionist now, so.
Oh. Man, did you choose well?
I know. But yes, we also took some time once we were public to finally get away on a vacation. So we went to Costa Rica for just over a week, which was really, really nice to go out exploring and going on an adventure, enjoying the nice warm weather. And I timed it well. It was right when it got really, really cold and the snow came. So I left all my problems behind
and went forward.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know how the show runs, I think it got down to 2 girls, right? And so my daughters actually pointed this out when we were watching it. So, and by the time it was done, it was like 6 months before it started getting TV, or 8 months?
8 months.
So for 8 months, Megan had to kind of hide.
Yes. Yeah. We had to keep it secret.
Right.
Was,
yeah. And that's tough because you're trying to maintain a relationship, yet you can't really in public.
Yeah.
So you had a coming out party that night.
Yeah. A big reveal party.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Did I say it wrong?
Yeah. I'm not coming out. No. Did
I say it wrong? All right. You had a revealing party that night on the island, and you had a lot of people there, right?
Yeah.
Like about 100 plus, yeah,
60-ish, yeah.
60 in a local restaurant. Where once the show was over, Megan came out and
Yeah, she met everyone. It was
that
great.
must have been wonderful.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I remember the show finished, the credits come on, and everyone was watching me, and I ran outside the restaurant and brought her in, and the place just erupted, and
Yeah.
they were so excited to see that we were still together because sadly, quite often on these dating shows, they might end up together, but it doesn't always last.
They may not end up together
Yeah,
going forward. Yeah.
especially because it was 8 months later.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it was quite awesome to see that.
Well, thanks for those answers. That's awesome. So now I'm going to open it up to the floor. So we have a few minutes, right, Krista? How we doing? So if anybody in the audience has a question for the three panelists, we'd love to entertain them. Anybody thinking about going on the show next season? Oh, come on. There's got to be somebody that wants to do it. Oh, we got one? We got one coming up?
I got
Okay.
a,
All right. Okay. Go ahead. You first. I
I got a
can't see you.
question. I'm not looking to go on, but I got kids that should be maybe going on. But what would you do different, or what advice do you have for somebody looking to go on? Is there a strategy that you think would work or not work?
Doug, you first.
Oh yeah. So yeah, for me, I would probably say like don't kiss everybody. You know, it makes it a lot harder watching it back with your current girlfriend.
I can see that.
Yeah, the other thing too is like I think I did a pretty good job at like staying true to myself. So if anyone does go on the show, like don't be a fake person because like you could sell yourself to, you know, whoever you end up with, but you really want to give them your true self if you want success in, you know, hopefully continuing that relationship after the show. So yeah, don't be fake and be careful what you do on the show.
I think we'll restrict you to that answer because I don't want to open you two up to any of that answer. But I will say I agree with you. Like we watched it and I said, yeah, that's Doug. Like you did not stray from Doug. Like you were Doug on the show. I was wondering about all that. Like you kissed a lot of girls on that one.
Yeah. Well, I kissed a lot of girls early on, and that's
Oh,
what
that
got
makes
me
it
in
better,
trouble.
I
Yeah,
guess.
I was the first farmer to get onto it, and then everyone else started doing the trend.
Right.
But
right.
yeah.
But you did save the best for last.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
So I think there was another question over here.
Yeah, question for the three of you. Since you've been through this romantic love journey, has it reinvigorated your love of farming? And how has that been?
Wow, that's a great question. And Josh, you get to answer that one first.
Like I said before, I don't think I've ever really lost my love of farming. I've always enjoyed it. It's a part of me and what I do. And I think it was really fun to be able to share that with people that had zero farming background. That was pretty cool. You know, being able to show not only, you know, the women that I was seeing, but even just the crew and everything. Just what a real dairy farm is all about.
You were able to share your story to all those people.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
That's what we need to do. Erin, you want to tackle that one?
Yeah, I would say for me, it definitely made me appreciate our industry. I would say everyone in our industry is very capable, which I don't know I would say about potentially other industries. Maybe it was a eye-opening experience working with some other people, but it definitely, it made me love the farm. I, again, was happy to be able to share my story. I'm still definitely in the minority of female-owned dairy farms, so it was nice to try and sort of promote that as well. And yeah, just share the experience of the farm, which is always nice.
Okay. Doug?
Yeah, showcasing the farm to all these people that came to my farm was pretty cool. What was the question?
Your experience on the show, did it reinvigorate your passion for what you're doing and enhance it?
Oh yeah. Like I really enjoyed it. By going on the show, I mean everyone calls me Farmer Doug now, and that gets old, but I guess it's my identity now as being Farmer Doug from the show, and now in real life I'm farming on my own. I do enjoy the fact that now I'm doing it on my own farm, I wish I could have showcased that on the show.
Your own farm
My own
versus
farm, my parents'
your
farm.
parents' farm. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. But the timing on that didn't work, right?
No, I was like, I can't be starting a farm as at the same time as filming. So I knew I had the new entrant and I knew I was going to be on the show. And I was like, okay, like, get the show done and then we'll start my farm.
Right. Yeah. That's a good plan.
Yeah. Cause I like the one question you asked earlier, like trying to balance like working on the farm and filming. I think it would have been impossible as a new startup.
Right. Anybody else have a question for the panel? Now's the time. We got one coming up? There we go.
Did you guys like how Farming for Love displayed farming for dairy farmers as a positive image?
Yeah, Doug, you want to start?
Yeah, I guess they've only really shown it on my farm. I kind of wish they showed a little bit more farming in it. There was a lot, it was quite compact because there's 5 other farmers. They weren't all dairy farmers, but I do wish, you know, they would have included more chores and showcased the farm a little more rather than the the personal stuff.
That's what people want to watch.
Everyone.
But like they could have also done like more dates, like one-on-one dates, you know, feeding calves or throwing hay or whatever. I wish we spent a little more time
Right.
more on farm.
You did tell me that they did focus more on the kissing aspect and less on the
Conversation.
conversations and the farming part of
Yeah.
it, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Josh, can you add to that or?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's yet to be seen, so,
Right.
not entirely sure, but, I felt like it was a reasonable job.
Okay. Yeah. And that's
For what
fair.
I can say.
That's all you can
Yeah,
disclose.
yeah.
Are you comfortable answering that or?
Yeah, like I would say sort of too, like I hope so.
Yeah,
It's always a little nerve wracking, right? You have no idea what it's gonna look like.
yeah.
I did find everyone was pretty open to me explaining why I was doing things, and especially like with the livestock and stuff, where like if I'd say like I did have a cow at one point that had stepped on a teat, and I said like let's not have
Yeah.
her in anything, like, and they were really respectful of that. So I certainly hope it comes out well.
And I think too, is just as other shows have had in the past, as they progress with seasons, they usually generally have, you know, different ideas and improve too.
Right. Right. I don't see anybody at the microphones. I'll add one more question for you, Doug, because you have gone through the experience. And Megan, are you looking forward to just being Doug and Megan and putting that show behind you and carrying on with your life?
Yeah, definitely. It's really weird being in the spotlight and people always like, you know, what's Doug up to or what's Megan up to. I mean, Megan did a good job hiding during that in between time of the filming and when it came out. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to working with Megan on the farm and hopefully we have a long relationship in the future.
Oh, there was a twinkle in his eye when he said that over here. So, and Josh and Erin, one last thing for you. Like, are you both glad you did it? Like, now that it's over, like, are you glad you've had that experience? And if you can't answer it, fine, but just yes or no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love attention, so.
I think you love the attention, don't you? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I struggled more with the attention in the process than Josh did for sure. And always a little anxious to see what it's going to look like when it comes out. But it was a fun experience and stuff. So I'm glad I did it.
Okay. Well, anybody else have a question? Well, I think you guys did a great job of answering all the questions that were presented to you. Thank you, Doug, for being open and honest about what you went through, and Josh and Erin. We look forward to when the season starts on TV, but I guess you guys don't know when they're going to air it, right? So it will be, again, the only reality show that I ever watch. But I do look forward to seeing how it plays out. And let's give these guys a great round of applause for sharing. Thank you for sharing your stories with us and for being put on the spot. I hope we didn't make it too hard for you.
Nah.
Nah.
Fantastic. One more round for their producer panel.